Each Thursday here on WTAP News at 5, we highlight a different high school band in the Mid-Ohio Valley. Our Chase Campbell visited Beverly, Ohio to profile this week's Band of the Week. Chase joins us live in studio to talk about the Fort Frye Marching Cadets. Chase.
Thanks, Andrew. The Fort Frye Marching Cadets are a tight-knit band of passionate musicians, led by a band director who's helped the group grow its membership without making them feel any less like a family. Talking to the band last week, I saw firsthand how they are, in the words of one student, small but mighty.
WTAP's Band of the Week, sponsored by CA House Music.
This week, we're highlighting the Fort Frye Marching Cadets, a Washington County, Ohio band that's proving big things can come in small packages. Under second-year director Tyler Hartline, this tight-knit group has grown substantially since last season.
We pretty much doubled our band size from last year just with new kids, and though that's challenging, it's also really exciting for, the growth of the program.
That rapid expansion includes 16 new students, but it hasn't diminished the close-knit atmosphere that defines the Marching Cadets. Senior Brody Garvin has been with the Color Guard since 6th grade, drawn by a lifelong passion for music.
I've just always had a thing for music. I've always been really interested, and then one of our previous directors was like, we have a marching band here, so you should join it. My brother was in the marching band here, so I was like, okay, that sounds like a fun thing to do, so I've joined it. I've been in it ever since.
What started as curiosity has become something much deeper for Garvin and his fellow bandmates.
The environment here at the Fort Frye Marching Band, it's always been an inclusive, acceptive group. No matter what you are, they'll accept you, and it's just a really fun group to be a part of.
Garvin says that family atmosphere has only grown stronger with the band's expansion this year.
Since we are a really green band this year, which means we've grown a lot from years in the past, our strengths are definitely teamwork, being involved together, because our band may not have always been the best at that, but this year it's more like a big family than it has been in the past. So I think that's one of our biggest strengths, is just being all friends and all getting along well together.
Senior Connor Dyer has taken on new responsibilities as field commander, moving from his previous role in the drumline after 6 years in the program. The conducting position gives him a unique view of integrating so many new members.
I conduct the band and then try and keep them in time and basically know everybody's parts.
For Dyer, the transition to field commander represents a chance to try something new in his final year.
Just like a new experience for senior year, and just wanted to try something new.
With that new role come significant challenges in managing such a large influx of newcomers.
We have 18 new members, and it's definitely an experience to get all of them caught up to where we were at last year, and it's kind of fun.
Despite the learning curve, Dyer finds motivation in the same thing that has kept him involved for 6 years.
Probably just all the people in the band and just the family that we have here.
This year's show is called Unmasked, telling the story of a masquerade ball and royalty. The artistic focus comes alongside practical goals for the growing program.
Last year, our biggest goal was growth, and we accomplished that. So this year is, taking that growth and starting to build a successful program.
For Hartline, a Marietta College music education grad who started his career at Marietta City Schools before coming to Fort Frye, the program represents something special in a small community.
It can be really hard for some students to find a place where they belong, and marching band here at Fort Frye, I think, has been a place where a lot of students from different backgrounds have found that place to belong and feel like they're part of something.
He sees the activity as uniquely valuable for students who love music but want something more dynamic.
A lot of students love music, and so it's combining that love of music with the athletics of marching band to get them involved in a sport, and it's just an all-around well-rounded activity.
As the seniors prepare for their final season of competitions, the sentiment is bittersweet but hopeful. For Garvin, the emotions of senior year add weight to every performance.
It's a little more sentimental this year since it is my last year with the Marching Cadets. I'm going to miss them, but it's just very wholesome to finally be a part of the senior group that's been here at the Fort Frye Bands.
The anticipation of competing with friends one last time drives much of his excitement for the remainder of the season. Dyer shares similar enthusiasm about the competition season ahead.
Probably going to the marching band competitions that we have. It's a fun experience. We go against other bands and try and get the best scores that we possibly can and grow.
Both seniors emphasize what they see as the band's core strength, not just their musical ability, but their unity as a group.
I would have to say just the environment altogether, just being here with them every day, it's really empowering to me.
We are small but mighty, so
With students improving weekly and nearly double the membership, the Fort Frye Marching Cadets are positioned for continued success. Looking ahead, Heartline is optimistic about building on this year's growth.
If we continue to grow in that way, we should have a really solid band program here in a couple years.
In Beverly, Chase Campbell, WTAP News. This is home.
The Marching Cadets continue their competition season, carrying forward both their competitive spirit and their commitment to being a place where every student can belong. Thanks, Andrew. Back to you.